So here is Lynn Twist, and she's in a moment in her book, which is really powerful. She's sitting, as you're supposed to do every day, I hope, dealing with you. That's all you get. She's taken the catch of the day, which in her case is $500 in $1 and $5 and $20 and $10 bills, and this check for $50,000 that she received. And she said, you know what, in her heart, I'm returning this energy. I'm giving it back. So she wrote a letter, and I'm sure the people at the Hunger Project staff said, you did what? Are you crazy? It's $50,000. We could have done good with that money. And she wrote a note to him and said, I thank you so much for seeing me. What a lovely gift. And I'd like you to share this money with a group that you feel good about, that you feel connected to and know about. And she gave the check back. And you know, every act and action that you take in the world is stamped by a consciousness that somewhere later on, if not in this embodiment, in another, will reach you. And for her, a couple of years later, this man came to her door, and it was the CEO of this huge, large food chain. And he said to her, I'm now retired. I got this huge severance package of gazillions and billions of dollars, as we hear about these days, these severance packages. And I want to do some good with what I have. I want you to know that when you return that check to me, you blew my mind. You did something that no one else has ever done. And I couldn't understand how anyone could possibly give back that money. It just took me and threw me upside down and changed and rocked my world at the core of being. I could never stop for one day having a moment where I thought about, she returned the check. That is not the world that I live in. That's the kind of effect you have when you embody these teachings. And you give and receive energy from a high level of integrity. You make a difference. I know you may not think that you do, and it may not be as big as $50,000, but it's with the way you're acting in traffic, the way you react at Costco, the way you deal with a letter that comes in the mail. Every time you make a difference for yourself in that moment, you change the world all around you. And so what he did was, he went into his heart, and he said, I've studied what your organization is doing, and I really want to give to what you support so it can grow in the world. He took out a check way bigger than the first one, and he said, would you do me the honor of taking this check from me? And she did. And you know that that man's life was changed and rearranged by that kind of giving. And sometimes it means you say no to something. Sometimes you say yes. It's just as powerful. And so the gift that you give is the gift received by you, but it also has an intention that's marked by the hands that give it, that can make a deep difference and change in somebody else's life as well. Because money is like that. It's a very powerful symbol. So Lynn goes on to say at the end of this chapter on money's like water, in this last paragraph that I want to share with you. No matter how much or how little money you have flowing through your life, when you direct that flow with a soulful purpose, you feel wealthy. Wealthy, by the way, the root meaning of the word means well-being. You feel vibrant, alive, when you use your money in a way that represents you, not just as a response to the market economy, but also as an expression of who you are. When you let your money move to things you care about, your life lights up. And that's really what money is for. To light up your life. And whether it's coming through in a trickle economic way, or it's flowing through and rushing through you in a dynamic way, you vote for the choice you make with your intention in how you choose to give to each moment. So we were going through in Seattle Unity one of those typical summer things where less people come and less money comes in, and we're trying to get through the summer. And anybody who's a minister knows about this one. And so we're hanging out with that. And Monday nights at Seattle Unity, the Course in Miracles group met with Robbie Feinstock. He's been doing it for 35 years, teaching that group. And we were in a neighborhood which was less than lovely. The neighborhood itself was filled with prostitutes and money changers and all kinds of energies going on. Our building got ripped off like 12 or 13 times the times that I was there. So you have to be conscious about the energy coming in and out of the building in a loving way, know what really is going on. And so that particular Monday night, somebody knocked on the door, and Robbie unlocked the door and said, "Can I help you?" And he said, "Yes, I would like to talk to someone about money." And he said, "Well, there's nobody here today. If you wait till tomorrow and talk to Annette," our version of Annette, every church has one, the one who's the net that catches and does everything. She'll talk to you in the morning and take care of you. He's going, "No, I'm not talking about asking for money. I don't want money. I want to give some money. Is anybody here who can take some money from me?" And Robbie went, "Well, yeah, I represent the church. I could take this money." He hands Robbie $2,000 in cash. Says, "Here, take this money." And then turns around and walks away. And Robbie goes, "Well, what's your name? Do you want a receipt?" He goes, "I just wanted a place to give my money that felt good," and walked away. The next morning, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. You never call me at 7 o'clock in the morning on Monday, unless you are going to tell me that someone gave $2,000. You call me anytime you want to, day or night. And then he said, "Well, you won't believe what just happened." Over the course of that summer, that man gave us $7,500 in cash to our coffers. Got us through the summer. We lit up our lives. The story's not over. It's never over. The good that you do, the intention that you set, the way in which you give and receive energy, it's never over. 2 years later, a man in our Diksha group on Wednesday nights, he used to come every single Wednesday night, hear the talk, receive the blessing, came up to me and he said, "Do you remember that summer a few years ago? I was that guy who gave you that money." He said, "I want you to know how important it was to my life that your organization was there for me to be able to give to something I felt good about. Because I would have taken that money and given to things that wouldn't have been good for me or for anybody around me. You gave me the opportunity to give to something that I love. And I want you to know it has rearranged and changed my life. I'm not the same person I was then." And I said, "You blessed us as well with your giving." It was a circle of energy that was complete. And we bowed to each other. And he never wanted anyone to know his name. He didn't want receipts. He just wanted to let me know that the good that was sown was received. And the good now is going back to touch others. That's the way it works. So let's just go to our lesson summation. I'll stop talking and yelling and spitting at you. The human mind is like a net, and we are fishermen. Fishing in the psychic sea, consisting both of our own and others' collective unconscious depths. The thought forms of the saint and the sinner, the just man and the criminal, are all mixed up in the sea of energy. I have the executive in me. I'm Alvin with my Rolex watch. I'm Richard the lover. I'm the saint. I'm the sinner. I'm not saying I'm not any of those things. And any one day I can be any of those things. But I'm aware of when I'm playing that role and don't get caught up in it. Throw it back, you know. On a good day, another day, I just pass it to Maureen. "Here, you take it." By using judgment and discrimination, we select what is good and reject what is bad. Every day we do this process. This is how we work with our own minds, which produces the result we see after it's kind. So when you got your stuff lying on the table, you're taking a look at what the pile is of what you want to keep and what you wish to get rid of. Use this particular scripture as the standard bearer. Whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. Keep doing this process. And then you become fishers of men and women who come to feel and feed off of the conscious intention that you have to be a vehicle and a channel to bring goodness and holiness and awakening to the planet Earth. Practice well, my friends. This is not just for you, but for the benefit of all beings. And when you vote every day for the choices of what sustain you, you make a huge difference. Please don't ever think what you do doesn't matter, because it does. And in the end, your vote matters and counts. Yes, absolutely. Don't forget how important this moment is. Blessed be. Enjoy your day. Namaste.